Welcome back to the 100% complete walkthrough guide for Lies of P Overture, and I'm glad you tuned in again. Last time, we defeated the first boss here, and now we'll continue from this point. We're going to head into the cave here and follow the main path to reach the next section. I'd appreciate it if you could give a thumbs up, and as always, we'll collect all the items we can find along the way. Of course, there are some things we'll have to come back for later, so don't be surprised if we leave something behind or need to backtrack. Just head through here, and you'll see the first checkpoint, the Stargazer. That's where we left off last time. And there's still something to pick up here in the courtyard. Head back here toward this gate, and this corpse here has an attribute Purification Ampoule, which we'll of course grab. Other than that, there's nothing else to collect here. I've already checked everything else. Just head up here and use this huge door to open it. Then we enter the greenhouse, and here you'll encounter some new enemies, some robot ladies, and I have to say, they're pretty tough. But puppet string is always good and really works wonders. So you should definitely give that a try. Of course, you have to hit the special attack, but otherwise it works pretty well. Of course, with almost, 4, and also with quite a few enemies, puppet string really works extremely well against a lot of them. Anyway, we've definitely taken care of the enemies here. That's just a little tip on the side. Make sure to grab the throwable cells and loot from the enemies. Then just head straight through here. You'll come to a small, garden area, and over here on the left, you'll see another door that we can open in a moment. We can't go that way just yet, so we'll just keep going straight ahead, and I've already taken out the enemies here. Go through here, and you'll see something glowing inside the cage. Of course, we'll grab that. And here you'll find an electric Blitz Abrasive. Pick up the item, and be careful, sometimes a guy can show up here. Remember, you can always destroy the container on his back here to defeat him pretty easily. It was a bit tricky for me, somehow. I didn't quite manage it, but if you hit the container here, he'll go down right away. You can also follow up with a charged move, and that should finish him off immediately. So yeah, we've taken that guy out as well. Make sure to grab the loot from these guys here as well. Head straight through here and follow this path all the way until you reach this corpse, and check it out. There's a bit of story to tell, and from the corpse, we'll head to the right for now, so go down to the right first. And be careful, the enemies here are pretty tough. Especially since there are 2 of them, I found it pretty nasty just trying to get close to these guys, and yeah, it's not exactly easy. So please be a bit careful here so you don't get taken out right away. And, yeah, the enemies here are definitely a bit tricky. You can try using the rope, but most of the time it doesn't work that well, because they'll shoot at you in between. But if it does work, one of them is out of the game right away, although even just one can be pretty tough, especially if you're out of stamina and keep getting kicked in the face. And I personally had a pretty hard time with that. Well, anyway, we took care of those guys, and back here we can, pick up another throwable cell. Also, the reason we're down here in the first place is because there's a little path back here, right this way. And there's also a tougher enemy that comes out now, and of course you'll need to defeat him too. Remember, he's got one of those canisters on his back as well, so take him out. And once you've done that, you can pick up the loot down here in the corner. You can already see it glowing nicely back there. And, yeah, then we'll just head inside and grab our reward. You'll find it right back here by the lamp, and that's where the item is. Ancient disc, let's take it. We can definitely use it. Then we turn around and head straight back through here. Now we just go back and basically follow the main path. This area here was kind of a side section. So head back to that corpse where we took the turn earlier. Now, of course, we go left instead of right, and there's a bit more loot from the enemies here. Of course, it might be something different for you. I've already taken care of the rest here. There are a few more coming up. Be a bit careful so they don't catch you off guard. Personally, I think the enemies here in the DLC are pretty tough, yeah. And, I don't know if it's the same for you or if I'm just kind of underleveled. You can unlock the shortcut here, and of course you can go back to the checkpoint if you want, but for now, just keep going this way. If you want to recharge, definitely do that, because there's a tougher guy coming up, one we already know from the main game. Remember, you can also destroy the tanks he carries on his back. So try to attack him from behind, and then it actually becomes pretty easy. Hit him quickly and decisively with a charged attack, and then he'll be stunned for a moment, so you can easily land another hit and finish him off with precision. We immediately get Emergency Directive 1, and of course we want to pick that up. Then turn around and grab the acid grinding agent back here, and go up the ladder here so we can get to the next area. So grab the ladder and climb up here. Now, there's a pretty tough boss coming up, and he's really challenging. Of course, in Souls-like games, there always has to be some kind of balancing act on beams. Personally, I always find that a bit annoying, but here we grab the glowing Ergo and then climb across like monkeys to grab the half moonstone. Then we skillfully make our way back across the beams, obviously without falling, and can continue on from here. Just go straight ahead. There's nothing else to pick up here. We'll be coming through from back there later. So don't be surprised about that. Just keep moving straight ahead. There will be a few more enemies here. Just take them out as usual. Follow this path until you reach the ladder, but don't climb up yet. Just keep going straight for now. There's something nice to pick up back here, but watch out. There's another one of those shooter guys. At least this time he's alone, so there isn't another one shooting at you. But be careful, because another combat robot, or rather, a puppet, will come from behind, and we'll take care of that one here as well. I found these enemies here pretty annoying, to be honest. That's why I'm going in with a power strike here, and then they're taken care of. Make sure to grab the item back here, the whetstone coating capsule, which restores uses of special whetstones. Pretty interesting, especially if you take a look in your inventory. But we'll get to all that later. For now, climb up here and then keep moving forward. And yeah, you're going to run into quite a few more enemies here. It's best to take them all out and keep climbing up. There's really not much you can miss here. Of course, there are some loot items, but as long as you make a full loop around, you shouldn't miss anything. Go all the way through here. Back here, there's another guy. Let's quickly take him out, with his funny head, and that's that. He drops a bit of loot too, so let's grab the gear here, then climb up the ladder to reach the next area. Yeah, things get a bit tricky here, so be careful. There are a few of those robots here, and one of them is still shooting at you. So be a bit careful here to make sure you survive. It's best to take out this combat robot first, then deal with the one that's shooting. You can lure him a bit, and then pick up the loot here as well. There's also an Ergo crystal up here, and once you've taken out the enemies on this floor, you can of course climb up the ladder right away. Did we take them all out? Then let's grab the ladder back here, climb up one more time, and we'll arrive in a nice room where an NPC used to live. Someone we'll meet again later, right here in this cage. Make a note of this, because later on the story will reveal who exactly lived in this cage. Other than that, there are some nice items here that we'll of course pick up, right here on the table, and then we've got them in our inventory. Just head out onto the balcony here, and you can drop down onto the roof below. It kind of looks like it's going to break. But it doesn't, so don't worry. I was a bit like, hopefully I don't fall down here, but it's not an issue. We just keep going straight ahead, and now we're on the other side, which we could already see from before. And now we just keep moving forward, and right here you'll find the next Stargazer, and right after that, a brutal boss is coming up. I thought he was insanely tough, but I made a boss guide for you on the channel. So with that, you should be able to handle him pretty well, I'd say. But he does take a bit of practice. If you manage to take him down on your first try, you're definitely overleveled, and of course, you can upgrade here again and so on before heading into the boss fight. As I said, the boss guide is on the channel. Feel free to check it out. Go through the door here and take down the boss, without me spoiling too much for you. For now, just keep moving forward. no rival beyond Lair. If you win the fight, you'll get the trophy Death's Puppeteer, and of course, we can keep going from there. I hope everything went well for you. Otherwise, definitely check out the boss guide. Now teleport back to the greenhouse outer garden, and we're actually at the end of the guide here. Here, you can now use the key you got and enter the next section. And there are actually some really well hidden things there that we'll grab again. So, see you next time, friends. I'd be happy if you tune in again. Take care, adios, and ciao ciao.